All right, we are live. Welcome to the Will Aver Show, episode one. Will
Love
Berry
this.
here. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful. We are sitting here. It is wonderful. It is Labor Day morning, correct? Yes. It's
Absolutely.
also just a great day to have a day. What do you say,
Hey,
Will?
love that. Yes, it is. We are here to trash on everyone's fantasy team. And let's just jump into it, right? Like, there's really no
Yes,
way around
yes.
it.
Yeah, so I figured we'd start with yours first.
Oh boy, you mean the most goated team? Yeah, there's not. You can't make fun of much. Like that
No
is.
shot. No shot. Also, by the way, to everyone at home watching, it's going to be a lot harder to cut this year because it's over Zoom. So,
So we're gonna
you
just
might
try to
just get.
not curse on the first go.
Also, Will is recording this jakily on his phone.
Yes. So there is a lot going on here, but we're
No
here
doubt.
for it.
Yes. All right. So I am currently looking at Will's wonderful team. What is it
I
called
have it up.
again? Raiders of Velocity Yard. Very creative name.
Thank you. Thank you.
And starting quarterback, you have Lamar Jackson.
Hey, we I will admit we reached a little bit at quarterback, all right? We it was a little bit of a reach.
However, the running back core, Eckler Gibbs, looks pretty solid.
Hmm.
Wide receiver with Cup and Olave looks the Cup, according to Will, is the most gritty player in the league. We'll see about that.
He has a lot of
Baltimore's
work ethic, that's for sure.
Baltimore's Mark Andrews at tight end, which is okay. Minnesota's Alexander Madison at running back. Minnesota, man, the most overrated 7-9 team in the NFL right now. Um, Cowboys defense solid and young. I don't even know how to say his first name, but last name
Me
Koo.
neither. Some ching chang chong crap.
Yes, about that. Um, a kicker. Will, I'd say that you have a mid lineup at best.
Wow, that's a lot coming from you. Let's go over to the strongest of wills next. All right, let's just get this
Okay,
one
all
out of the
right.
way.
Okay,
Uh,
hold on. I gotta go back
First of
to
all, Devonte Adams washed. Uh,
no shot.
Derrick Henry washed. Your team is just crap. No, I'm just kidding. No, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm excited about. I think he's a good receiver. But then we saw a couple homer picks there with uh ETN, Trevor Lawrence, and then Evan Ingram. But you know what? You can't help that. Like that's fair. I respect it.
They, to be fair, they were one of the best players on the board when I picked them up. So to
I
be fair, could have been worse.
Yeah, yeah, it could have been worse. Anyone in particular you're really excited to have on your team?
I'm really excited about the Tua Trevor um, two quarterback system I'm going to have rolling throughout the season.
That's true. That
I
is a
also
good.
really like my Dalvin Cook pickup for the Jets. I think he's going to have kind of a show out year.
He
I
can
also
surprise some people.
like Deontay Johnson, receiver for Pittsburgh. As you Pittsburgh fans, it would be awesome to play against Mr. Abear and have him root for my player. So that's going to be wonderful. No, yeah, I'm pretty stoked about my team. I think I have a strong team, and I think we're gonna have a great year, no doubt.
Absolutely. All
All
right,
right,
who
well,
should we go to next? Now that we got the two real
you
competitors
know,
out of the way.
right? Championship, championship foresight here.
Um,
Here, let's
let,
go to Mason's team.
I like that. He got the first overall pick, so a lot of hype surrounding his team.
Lot of hype, lot of hype. All
Um,
right,
Mason took Justin Jefferson first overall, which I think it's a solid pick. It's not breaking any records, but I think it's a safe, solid pick.
it is a safe, solid pick. Like I said, I'm not very high on the Vikings this year. I think they're gonna have a much bigger slump year than they did last year. So that could be a risky pick, but it's not a risky pick. It's a safe pick, but it might not pan out for him as much as our boy Mason might think.
I agree. In rounds 2 and 3, he took Garrett Wilson and Bijan Robinson. I will admit I'm not high on the Jets. I don't love Garrett Wilson, but I think Bijan in Atlanta could be all right. He's a rookie, so we'll see. Sure.
A lot of faith to put in a rookie, I would say. I was pretty hesitant on our boy Bijan, but he might be really good. So it's going to be interesting to see. Got a Florida boy on there, our boy Damian Pierce with Houston.
Ooh, Mason, shout out. Watch out.
Shout out Mason. Shout out Mason. He's usually pretty solid. So yeah, no, I think it's going to be a solid team for Mason this year.
For
Not really
sure.
any Justin Herbert at quarterback it,
Oh, stud.
with Gino on the bench. It'll be
That's pretty
interesting.
that's a pretty solid quarterback room. Yeah.
I don't. Not the biggest fan of Gino. Eh, eh, we'll see, Mason. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I have next on my list. I have hooked on a feeling,
I
which is
like
B
that.
three.
B3's team. Let's dive into it. First of all, you drafted Big Ben, which I respect, but
Mad
he's
respect,
not
Mr. Aber.
playing.
You also picked a defense and a kicker within like the first 10 rounds. So
Very bold strategy is what I'm gonna
bold
say.
strategy, bold strategy to say the least. Starting quarterback right now, you have Jalen Hurts, which I don't mind. However, I think Jalen isn't going to have as strong of a season this year as he did last year. A little bit of a slump year. Um, Defense, not slump. I'm just going to say defenses are going to start to figure him out.
Right.
Um, I like Najee. Kenneth
Travis
Walker, I
Kelsey's
don't really
always a
know
good
much
pick.
about. Travis
Yeah.
Kelce's a good pick. AJ Brown and Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley was an awesome pick. You beat me to him. He's gonna have a blowout year. Like genuinely, I can't imagine him not having an awesome year. So we're high on the Jags, as you can see. Um,
Yeah, despite the picking of the Steelers defense and Justin Tucker way too early, I think there's a lot to be excited about here.
I
Surprisingly,
and the fact that you're able to pull the Jets defense too on the bench is pretty.
that's
That's
underrated.
honestly a
Jets
stud
defense
defensive move.
underrated. Hmm. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, it'll be fun for him going 0-14 with the first round exit in the playoffs.
Yes. Daniel Jones, backup quarterback. A little bit of a weak pick there, but we'll see. I don't know. I think that it was a decent draft for Mr. Abear. Might have to, near the end of the season, might be pulling off the waivers a little bit, but
Oh,
it'll be interesting.
I agree with that. Who's next on your list?
Lightning Lady, and I
That
believe
would be
that's
Nini.
me.
Let me see. Oh, Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. All right.
Okay. I mean,
So yeah, that's I mean
if you have Patty Mahomes on at quarterback, yeah,
you'll be all right.
you're gonna be okay.
Uh
Trying to see.
oh, she doubled up on Cowboys. You got CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard, which I like. I think that's a pretty good duo to have.
I think Dallas
Uh
is gonna be pretty solid this year. They usually are in the regular season,
mm-hmm.
but Sean Watson
Ooh. All right. Well, he's
and
hang on. He's
well, let's just say he's had a little bit of some off the field issues, but he's there.
he's a good quarterback too. I would not trust him at quarterback one, but you got to throw him in for 1 week instead of Patrick Mahomes. Fine, so be it.
Fair enough. I agree.
I'll tell you what,
Kyle Pitts at tight end.
that's the X factor right there. He could be great, but he could be really bad, just
Yeah,
fantasy
but who does
wise.
he have throwing to him? I mean, it's
That's the
Atlanta, right? Like,
that's a good point.
yeah. So I don't know. I think that it was a solid team. You projected 129 a game, which I think
Very good. Yeah.
is solid. That's a solid start. Good work, Meanie. What a great draft for you. All right, now off to Porter. I have Ingram toenails.
Let's see. Well, first and foremost, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow at quarterback is a solid pick. I
Is
don't
he going
think.
to play?
Good
Will he
question.
play week one?
I don't know what the jury is out if the jury has come back yet for week one, but I know going down the road, Joe Burrow is
I know
definitely a guy you want at the helm.
Cincinnati cut their solid backup, so I think that leads me to believe that Burrow will be coming back at Cleveland on Sunday. So that's your high quality analysis here on the Will Bear Show.
We get you the
But yeah,
news.
who else? Yeah, we get you the top of the line news. Um, no, but you have Saquon, James Cook. James Cook was an awful pick considering Buffalo never runs the ball, so should have thought that out better. Um, Tariq Hill and Devo was a good pick.
George
Um,
Pickens on the bench could be good if he runs into that role later on down the season, but we'll see.
I really like Pickens.
Hmm.
I really like
Absolutely.
Pickens.
He's got a phenomenal upside. Absolutely.
Also, the Tom Brady pick was pretty gangster. I love that. Love the Tom Brady pick.
Because if he
Um,
comes out of retirement, who's not starting him in fantasy football?
well, Justin Fields and Joe Burrow might be a little bit better, but
True that. True that. True
I love
that.
under the projected scores for Tom Brady. It says 0 points. So
Love that.
wonderful work, Porter. Good work. All right, hold on.
Who's next?
I have
Do you have
your
Dix,
mom, Mrs.
Dixie Chick
Abear, Dixie
next? All
Chicks.
right. Let me see. What do I have to say about her? Well, she
Dak
has
Prescott is washed.
she has double Minnesota Vikings, which I know you like, with Kirk
I
Cousins,
love the,
TJ Hawkinson.
yeah, not high on the Vikings.
Oh
But
man,
Jamar Chase at wide receiver is really good. So
absolutely.
Chubb and James Conner, solid picks.
Am I reading this right? She has Stefan Diggs too. Okay, I think she
Joe
has
Mixon too.
the most loaded wide receiver room with Chase and Diggs. At least those top two is pretty hard to combat.
Her running backs are actually really good too.
Oh my gosh.
Harrison Butker, awesome last name, so that's always a win. Um, no, I think. Oh, and Evan McPherson,
Yeah,
past Gator.
yeah,
So
and a deadly kicker. So
you know what, Mrs. Aber, I think you've done a good job. Projected average projections is 134. So strong team here to start.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna say it. All bias aside, this could be my current best drafted team, Dixie Chick right here. This is pretty solid.
Too many questions at quarterback for me. Will I'm gonna be honest.
100%. If she can sort out the quarterback position, because ooh, Dak is a scary person to have as your QB1.
Yeah, Dak, and then your backup is Kirk. Kirk's a good regular season quarterback. I don't think that that's a terrible pick, but both pretty much glorified game managers in my view.
You heard it here
To be
first.
fair, you heard it here first. You heard it here first, fellas. Um,
Does that knock out? Nope, I still got the Yellowstone Bisons on my list.
that's what I have as well.
All
Um,
right. Well, Christian McCaffrey, he'll be fun to have for the first week, and then when he gets hurt, too bad. The rest of the
um, Josh Allen, I think, is a good pick. He's
running it
usually a
back with
fantasy
Josh
points
Allen. Yeah, that's
machine.
good.
Jalen Waddle's an awesome pick. Josh Jacobs is a good pick. Honestly, I don't
George
really like
Kittle is
Keenan
a
Allen.
great pick. Huh?
Not a big fan of Keenan Allen. DeAndre Hopkins actually is kind of a sleeper pick. I really actually don't mind that pick. If
Mhm.
Tannehill can get him the ball, it'll be pretty good.
Yeah. That's the big question
Um,
if they could get him the ball.
if they can give him the ball. Also, Mike Williams on the bench.
He's solid.
I think he is solid. He's solid. Cam Akers. Aaron Rodgers on the bench is honestly a wonderful pick. Wow.
To be
And Christian
quarterback
Kirk.
too. Hmm.
Wow. I would say that this has probably been the deepest team that I've seen.
There you
A lot
go.
of depth. A lot of depth here for DD.
This is certainly
Um,
this team is certainly not messing around, especially with George Kittle at the tight end. I really like George Kittle.
Yeah. I wonder what his questionable. What is his? He's questionable for week one. Same with Jalen Waddle. So those are questions that probably need to be answered here.
Well, they play Pittsburgh week one, so I wouldn't start any of your 49ers players in week one. Just that's probably
Just
a bad
because,
idea.
All right. Well, so now that we've gone through each roster and gave our brief thoughts, do we want to go through the matchups
I
for
have
week
them
one?
right here in front of me. Which you announce one and I'll go one, and then we'll just go back and forth.
Okay. So hold on. I need to. I'm using this on my Yay computer here, and I'm not really sure how these matchups work. So
If you want,
give me.
I can get us started.
I got it. I
All
got it.
right, then you can lead us off,
Okay.
my friend.
All right. So starting off at the first game, hold on. I'm getting an ad. We're seeing EVs. Whoops. Sorry, everyone. We don't pay for the premium version of
This
ESPN
is
Fantasy Football around here.
unacceptable. The Will Bear show has never been this. We've
Oh,
never bowed to advertisements before. Wow.
unreal. Unreal. I'm actually so devastated. Um, so game one here, I have my team, the strongest of wills, versus B3's Hooked on a Thielen, which is a great name.
I think this is a very solid opening week matchup. I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
I'm really excited how this is going to play out. Let's see. Mr. Abear's team is projected 126, and I'm projected 124. So fairly even, I would say.
I think you have the edge going into this one. B3 finished last season as officially the worst team in the league. So you big guy, you need to bounce back in big time. So we'll see if this is the game to do it though. But Barry,
We'll
I think you
see.
got
I
a
mean,
big shot.
B3 has a brand new roster. Um, so a lot of things can change here. I think that matchup wise, I think Hertz and Trevor are pretty solid matchups. I think both play fairly easy opponents. I'd say that I think Trevor probably has a little bit of the edge playing against Indianapolis's defense versus Hertz playing against the Patriots defense. You know, Patriots defense is going to be probably well coached, Belichick coach team.
Absolutely.
Um, Running back wise, I think Najee against San Francisco, Kenneth versus LAR. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a great game. We'll see if there's any midweek changes on both rosters. And yeah, no, I'm excited. It should be fun.
Absolutely. All right. Game
Game
two.
two.
I've got let's see here. We got Didi's Yellowstone Bisons taking on my very own Raiders of the Lost Yard. Um in what I think should probably be the biggest blowout of the week. The Raiders of the Lost Yard just look that good on paper. No, I'm just kidding. No, this
Wow. Wow. The
I
cockiness is unreal.
I'm just going to say this. I think it all comes down to whether or not Cooper Cup plays. He is questionable. He has a lingering hamstring injury. And if he doesn't play, that's a huge blow to my team. And if he does play, you're chalking up 20 to 30 points. Um, and it's just a big question mark.
It is a big question mark. I agree. I think that your team right now is set up for success a little bit better than Didi's team. However, I think that Didi's team has some sleepers, and if they show out, it could be a much closer game come Sunday than a lot of people are expecting. Um, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, game three. Excuse me. We have Ingram Toenails Porter Ward against Ray Rice's Elevator Service Mason Abear. Um, right now, they're projecting Porter to win. Um, that's all I have to say.
Um, yeah,
Extremely well, good analysis here.
Yeah, I mean, we got one of the better teams in the regular season, Mason, has not won a playoff game in the past 2 years, but he has been very good in the regular season. And then Porter, of course, won the whole thing
Defending
last
champ.
year. So we got sort of just it's an interesting matchup, is what I have to say.
It's a very interesting matchup. Yeah, well, I think that both teams line up pretty well. As you can see, both it's pretty close on the projected total. I think one team's just going to have one guy really stand out. And for me, I'm going to make my pick on this game. I think that guy is probably going to be, I think it's going to be Tariq Hill for Miami. And I think Porter's going to pull one out. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that one may be our closest game of the week. I don't know. I love that. I love that matchup.
I do
Um,
too. I think it's a great matchup. Game four.
mhm. Game four is Mom Dixie Chick taking on Nene Lightning Lady. Which Nene struggled last year. And Mom was I forgot. I think she was all right last year,
Pretty
but
middle of the road.
we need two teams who really could use a win to start off the year, and um there's a lot to be excited about on both teams. Pat Mahomes is going to be consistent on Nini's team. I think you're getting a lot of consistency. Maybe Kyle Pitts could be interesting, but for the most part, Nini is going to be seeing consistently decent numbers as long as Pat Mahomes is healthy. Um,
No doubt.
so yeah, I think as
It's
for
going to be
Mom,
interesting.
sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I was just going to say, I think Mrs. Abear mom probably needs you really need some good play out of the quarterback Dak Prescott here going against Patrick Mahomes. You know he's going to put up big numbers, so Dak is a big question mark for me. I'm just going to say I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, that's the question. Can you replicate points that you're going to lose? Like, can you at least try to break even at the quarterback position? Because Pat Mahomes is going to get his. Is Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott? Are they going to even come close and make this a competitive game? Because Mom
It's
has
going
the
to be
skill
interesting.
position. She has the skill position players to compete here.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think this is going to be a close one too. I think however, I think this Nene, excuse me, I think Nene is going to probably pull out the win here. Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, and I think she's got just enough at the skill position level to pull out a win. It's going to be close.
Well, I think that covers our weeks. That means there's one more thing left to do, and that's who do we have winning the whole thing? That's the question.
Little preseason
Yeah,
preseason predictions here. I think it's really hard to make this decision right now, but looking at the rosters, it's really hard to say. I think in pure strength of roster, I don't know. Everyone's got a pretty solid roster here. It really depends for me on who gets hurt.
that is an
Um,
excellent point. If the team that stays the most healthy is the team that's going to win.
it is true. But if you want me to just based on my gut feeling, I'm gonna have the strongest of wills winning the title. Actually, no, I'm
That
just
is
kidding.
quite a
Not my
shocker,
team. Not
quite
my
an
team.
upset.
I think Will's Raiders of the Lost Yard has not been as competitive the last couple of years. Made it to the championship, but couldn't get it done. I think this year they finally do. Not giant on Lamar, the starting quarterback, but but it's okay. You got Kenny Pickett behind him, who I think is actually going to have a breakout year. So I actually really do like the Raiders of the Lost Yard team, and I think they might get it done if barring injury.
I agree with that. I think really only the only thing you can hope for is I have a bad week in the playoffs and that no one has to play me in later rounds. uh no, I do like a lot of teams, and it really does come down to injuries. I think, huh, I don't know. I think I go back to what you said about Didi's team being the deepest, and I think that plays a huge factor going down the road. And I really like mom's running back room and receiver room. You can never have enough. I think she's really good at depth in those positions, and she's one position away from being absolutely knocking this competition down. I think those are two teams you also have to look out for.
Absolutely. I do think though, sadly, that that one position is quarterback, which is so essential.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
and unless Dak or Kirk can really heat up, which is possible, no doubt. Might be a tough year for the old for the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, is that it? Are we done with week zero?
If you can think of anything else, then we're not done. But
Um, I
I
just want to
think
let everyone know that whoever has to play against me, you're gonna get smoked. B3, watch out.
beat down incoming. Let's
Beat
go.
down inbound. Let's go.
Well, all right. I think that about does it. Yeah, I'm excited for this season. It's looking very bright for a lot of teams.
Everyone, week zero, everyone's still hoping, waiting for their dreams to be crushed. I'm sure that my team will be the first one to be just absolutely devastated. But
I thought you were gonna
yeah,
say to do the crushing.
I just want to thank everyone in the Aber family for having me into the league.
Easy,
I
dude.
was we were already planning on me being a full-time pundit on the Will Aber show. But to be a part of the league makes it 10 times better. So I really appreciate it. And
We're happy to
I
have you,
will
dude.
not let you guys down. I will not let you guys down.
Oh, I doubt that. There are some good fantasy teams.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Well, all right. I think we're gonna close it there. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
All
I'm
right.
I'm excited.
Perfect. Hold on. How do I stop this?